60s mostly. And he's going to tell us about being whole. It's Kevin Hauber. Come on up, Kevin.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice shirt.
Thank you. Well, the last time I was here, I wore a button down, and you accused me of being the fraternity president. So, so I had to keep with the theme today, right? It's good to be with you on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you and to the Father in all of you. I'm also calling this Acid Flashback Sunday. Whoa, dude. I've been, okay, so first off, news kind of, Chrissy's not with me today because she's at home resting up. She and I are in the Gilbert and Sullivan production of Yeoman of the Guard, that the final performance is this afternoon out at Cuesta. And so I'm getting to exercise my shadow side a little bit. They've got me playing the executioner, which has a very kind of Grim Reaper, Darth Sidious type look to it. So it's interesting and it's surprising the reactions you get when you run around in that kind of costume. There was a little boy out in the audience that was going, "Oh," as I stood next to him. It was fun. So yes, I didn't have these in the 60s either, but today, just it's necessary. So I want to delve into a subject that has been of interest to me about how do we look at ourselves? How do we look at each other? Because in Unity, we talk about God seeing us as whole, right? We've heard that many times. So how do we see ourselves? How do we see each other? And so the title of this talk is Being Whole. And I want to use some material that I found about that seems to be a really great perspective on that. So a lot of what I'm doing today is based on the work of Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen. And Dr. Remen is an MD doctor. She is Associate Clinical Professor of Family and Community Medicine at UCSF, so she's a West Coaster, at the medical school, and co-founder and director of the Commonwealth Cancer Program. She's also author of the bestseller Kitchen Table Wisdom, Stories That Heal, so you may know her from that work that she'd done. So Dr. Remen says that fixing and helping create a distance between people, but we cannot serve at a distance. We can only serve that to which we are profoundly connected. So let's riff on that a little bit. So here's the big takeaway for you for today's lesson. Helping, fixing, and serving represent three different ways of seeing life. When you help, you see life as weak. When you fix, you see life as broken. But when you serve, you see life as whole. Fixing and helping may be work of the ego, and service the work of the soul. So let me give you that to you one more time, because that's a big takeaway piece, and I'd love to have some discussion with you guys about this afterwards. Helping, fixing, and serving represent three different ways of seeing life. When you help, you see life as weak. When you fix, you see life as broken. When you serve, you see life as whole. Now, service rests on the premise that the nature of life is sacred and that life is a holy mystery which has an unknown purpose. When we serve, we know that we belong to life and to that purpose. From the perspective of service, we are all connected. All suffering is like my suffering. And all joy is like my joy. All suffering is like my suffering, and all joy is like my joy. The impulse to serve emerges naturally and inevitably from this way of seeing. When we help, we become aware of our own strength, but when we serve, we don't serve with our strength. We serve with ourselves, with our full selves, and we draw from all of our experiences. Now this is another takeaway part, so pay attention to this one. It'll be on the quiz. Our limitations serve. Our wounds serve. Even our darkness can serve. My pain is the source of my compassion. My woundedness is the key to my empathy. Have you ever considered that? Ever thought of the things that we might have otherwise wanted to hide as things that could be part of our wholeness and our humanness and that give us empathy? I think that's beautiful. Are you all on the same page with me so far?
Yes.
Goodness, yeah. This, for a lot of folks, this could be a real perspective shift, right? You know, this isn't necessarily what we get in the outside conditioning, but it feels like we can talk about it here and have that integration. So take a moment and consider how this might show up for you in these different things that Dr. Remen described. First, when you help, you see life as weak. So there are a lot of places where this could show up in life, but it probably shows up most distinctly with the very young and the very old, right? The whole helping thing. And there's a cultural bias toward helping that we all get indoctrinated with. Particularly women get indoctrinated with this helping, kind of a socialization. Even if it's not the best thing to be doing at the moment, right? We still are compelled to help. Have you seen examples of that? Have you seen examples of helping leading to resentment by the helper and or the person being helped? I don't want to be helped. Get away from me, thing, right? Or the person being helped taking advantage of the helper. You know? So that helping thing can be a slippery slope to navigate. So the second perspective, when you fix, you see life as broken. So this is one that men are socialized around a lot too, because as men typically we are trained to be fixers. I think of the James Taylor song "Handyman." You know, I'm your handyman. I fix broken hearts. You know, that kind of thing. Now, not that it doesn't happen to women too, but I'm just saying that it is a socializing kind of thing. But it can be awful reinforcing to the ego when we fix things. Oh, thanks, you did a great job, right? You know, to be a fixer. So I went through many years, let's go with decades, of this fixing stuff with my family of origin. The only problem was that no sooner did I fix something than someone came along and undermined it, and all of the fix went away because of whatever the other agenda was that was going on. Now that was really frustrating, and it led me to the realization that, oh, wait a minute, if someone deep down doesn't want to be fixed, I can't fix something. If they don't want that, if they just want to keep playing the same drama. I don't know if you've ever heard of the drama triangle thing. That's a whole lesson in itself. But, you know, I was always riding in on the white horse, you know, playing the fixer, the hero, all that stuff. And the victim didn't want to be fixed. How about that? You know, I don't know if you've ever been in one of those kinds of situations, but It happens a lot. So it was a big shift for me to see that maybe what was being acted out was exactly what needed to be happening. And that was what the souls involved needed to experience, including my experience of, oh, wait a minute, I can't fix something that doesn't want to be fixed. That kind of aha, that can require a lot of prayer and meditation, speaking of prayer being the theme for the month. So the third perspective then, when you serve, you see life as whole. So I find there's a tricky caveat to this one, to see life as whole. Can I see life as whole, even including the parts that I don't like? Can I see that as a part of wholeness if I judge that there's something wrong or dysfunctional or hurtful going on? Can I see wholeness in that? It's challenging, isn't it? Especially if I have been indoctrinated, socialized, conditioned, whatever term you want to use, that that something is not good, evil, bad, whatever kind of label we want to put on it. Can I view those kinds of judgments as part of the wholeness of the situation too? Because it is. It's all a part of God and the experience of God that we are all having in the present. And that's challenging, isn't it? I mean, we really have to turn the mirror on ourselves with a lot of this stuff, with these judgments and these views that we have of others that we might see as broken, or that we might see as needing help, being weak, or even turn that mirror on ourselves if we see ourselves as broken or being weak. Can we see the things that are going on and that have gone on for us as part of our wholeness and part of whatever it is that has brought us into this moment to experience the fullness of God? Not necessarily easy, is it? Yeah. So Dr. Remen wrote a really wonderful meditation on this theme. And I'm going to share that with you this morning because for me, it helps to take the concepts that we're talking about out of just a thinking thing, out of just a mind thing, and really bring it into the emotional body. And we all know that we want to get our thoughts and our emotions rowing together, because when thoughts and emotions collide, it makes sparks at a minimum, we'll say, right? So let's see if we can get those parts of us working together. So see how this lands for you. So I invite you to go ahead and get yourself situated in whatever kind of a meditative posture is good for you. Settle in where you are. And if it helps to focus, you can close your eyes and look inside. Go ahead and breathe up and down your spine, clearing some space inside. And find both the grounding in the earth, and with the inhale, find a lift in the heavens above. And make that space inside. Take these words in. Being whole doesn't mean being more than you are in this very moment. It means being fully who you are in this moment. It means accepting the parts of yourself that used to make you feel ashamed or feel small. These are the parts of yourself that will allow you to connect to other people and allow you to own your own strength. I've noticed the wounds that I've experienced enable me to respond to other wounded people with compassion. Without them, I don't think I'd know compassion, and neither would you without your wounds. My loneliness, which is part of my wholeness, has allowed me to find you in the dark, to sit with you, to be with you, to care about you. And when I was not willing to allow myself to feel lonely, to know that I needed other people, I would never have been able to find you. And I was less than whole without my loneliness, without my wounds. And this is part of wholeness too, for you, for me, for everyone. Every one of us wants to be more than we are, wants to give more than we can give. There is something in us, in our training, that says only perfect is good enough. This is an absolute setup for burning out. Each of us, you and me, we are already enough. We are already exactly what is needed. The ways in which we are human, our anger, our doubts, our fears, our loneliness, all of these things are exactly what is needed. Most of us have blessed and helped many more people than we know. I might just be exactly the right person for the person in front of me. Not because I'm trying to be the right person, but because I really am the right person. To offer them the reminder of their wholeness, to call forth their strength, just by who I am, by my presence, in ways I may never know about. It is not our expertise that blesses people. It is our humanness. When you know this about yourself, no one in your presence ever needs to feel alone or lonely. And you yourself won't feel lonely either. So reach out for your wholeness. May you be blessed by it. May it allow you to connect to all people everywhere, to all wholeness in all people everywhere, even the wholeness that is hidden, the wholeness they don't know is there. May you become transparent to the wholeness in you so that it shines and reminds people where their home is. May you serve with everything you know and everything you are. Let yourself take this in. Let it take root in you and show forth as kindness and patience and service. May you remember to see the wholeness in yourself and others. And with a sense of gratitude for this experience together, I invite you to bring your attention back to the room. You can move your hands and feet if that helps you to bring your awareness back to the five senses world. Let's all take a breath together. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for remembering your wholeness with me. Thank you. Bless you. Namaste.